David went from touring with SZA to allegedly cutting off a girl's head and stuffing her body in the trunk of his Tesla. There's a lot of rumors going around about the case, but the case just took a shocking turn, and we're breaking down what's really going on behind the scenes. David was born in New York, but ended up living in Houston and was cut off from people because his parents were homeschooling him. When he was a kid, David played piano and sang in a church choir, but back then he wasn't thinking about making his own music. Since David wasn't going to school, he ended up hanging out with friends online instead. He was big into Fortnite and wanted to become a professional gamer, and that's how he ended up making music. David was making Fortnite compilations and posting them on YouTube, but he kept getting hit with copyright strikes because he was using other people's music. David didn't know what to do about it, and that's when his mom told him he should just make his own music for his YouTube videos. After that, David started posting his music on SoundCloud too, and it didn't take long before he started getting some buzz on his name. Tracks like Take Me to the Sun, You and I, and Runaway were running up big numbers. But in 2022, David really popped off with the track Romantic Homicide. Romantic Homicide blew up on TikTok and hit number 33 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart, and David picked up a nomination for Best Music Video in the Hollywood Music and Media Awards. Darkroom and Interscope saw that David was blowing up, and a couple of months after Romantic Homicide dropped, he made a deal with the label and hit the charts again when he dropped the track Here With Me. Romantic Homicide put David in the spotlight, but now he's under investigation for brutally murdering a girl. And the lyrics are making it seem like David wanted to do something like that for years. Like when he said, "In the back of my mind, you died, and I didn't even cry. No, not a single tear. And in the back of my mind, I killed you, and I didn't even regret it. I can't believe I said it, but it's true, I hate you." But back then, nobody was thinking David was gonna allegedly cut a girl's head off, and his career kept on going up. He dropped his first EP in May 2023, then he followed it up with another EP a few months later. David was starting to work with some big names in the rap game, and SZA even brought him out to open up for her on tour. David kept the momentum up, and in 2025, he linked up with Kali Uchis for the track Crashing. By that point, he already had over 30 million monthly listeners on Spotify, and David popped off even more when he dropped his first album in April 2025. But while David's career kept going up, what nobody knew is that he allegedly had a dead body sitting in the trunk of his Tesla the whole time. David kicked off his first tour in August 2025, but then a month later, the news broke that a dead body had been found inside his Tesla. David's Tesla had been taken by a tow truck company because he abandoned the whip in Hollywood, and a few days after the Tesla was impounded, somebody in the impound lot smelled something rotten in the whip. That's when they called the cops, and the police found Celeste Rivas Hernandez inside the Tesla. Celeste had been dead for months, and the cops couldn't even figure out how she died because her body had already been rotten since the spring. The cops started blocking a lot of evidence in the case from coming out, but Celeste's body was allegedly cut into pieces, and her head was allegedly cut off too. Even though a body had just been found inside his whip, David kept on doing shows at first and was cooperating fully with the police. Nobody knew what was going on at first, but then some crazy stories about David started coming out, and everything changed. It turned out that Celeste wasn't just a random girl. David knew her for years and was in a relationship with her for a long time. According to some sources, David met Celeste through Fortnite back in 2021.
We were all in a Fortnite team called Chronic, which is where I met him. He met her in like 2021 through Fortnite, I'm pretty sure, and then he got her Discord. Everyone in the team knew about her, and he would joke about it and brush it off every time it got mentioned.
Then in 2025, an unreleased track from David leaked that he recorded in 2023. The track was called Celeste, and on the song he said, "Oh Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest. Smell her on clothes like cigarettes. I hear her voice each time I take a breath. I'm obsessed. And be my Valentine. I want to make Cupid suicidal. These are the kind of thoughts that cross my mind." More weird details started coming out about David and Celeste, and eventually the rest of his tour got canceled. David's fans were shocked by what was going down, but it turns out that a lot of people around David already knew that he was a weirdo. On the day that Celeste's body was found in David's Tesla, somebody on Reddit made a post about the situation and said they knew David used to hang out with their friend's little sister. The post was made before the police even released Celeste's name, but it was clear that the person on Reddit was talking about her. David and Celeste talked to each other a lot on Discord, and somebody started posting screenshots that proved David had been talking to her since at least 2022. And in 2024, someone else on Discord confirmed that David was dating Celeste. What makes the situation even crazier is that David actually live streamed with Celeste, and she called him out for being a...
That's controversial.
It's controversial of kids.
Really good.
Okay,
It's been a good one. Bye.
David tried to play it off like a joke, but it was clear that the situation shook him up. Celeste's family was trying to keep her from seeing David, but Celeste was always running away from home. And in 2024, her family reported her missing 3 different times. Celeste was allegedly living with David when she ran away from home, and there's even a photo of David in Celeste's neighborhood just 6 minutes from her parents' house. Everyone around David knew what was going down, but he was allegedly paying Celeste's friends off so they wouldn't tell people that he was dating Celeste. And in another Discord message, David was talking about Celeste being pregnant. The evidence against David was building up every day, and Kali Uchis even took down the track she made with him. David wasn't even under investigation at first, and the cops said he was working with them. But when more evidence started coming out, that all changed. The police officially announced they were opening up a murder investigation a couple of months after they found Celeste's body, and that's when the case really started getting weird. TMZ had a source with the medical examiner's office, and they broke the news that Celeste's body was frozen when the police found it.
Some major developments in the Celeste Rivas death. TMZ has learned that her body had been frozen, and when it was found, it was still partially frozen in the back of David's car, and it was in such bad condition that we are told the medical examiner may never be able to establish the cause of death.
Then the police came out and said that her body wasn't frozen, and they got a judge to block the medical examiner from releasing any info about the case. Celeste's body being frozen is a big part of the case. If David killed her and froze the body, that makes it almost impossible for the cops to find out exactly when she died. Right now, everyone thinks she was killed around April 2025 though, and the cops also know that David made a secret trip to Santa Barbara around the same time. The medical examiner and the LAPD kept going back and forth about whether the public should know what's actually going on in the case, and then TMZ confirmed that somebody in the medical examiner's office said that Celeste's body had definitely been frozen at some point, and her fingers had so much water in them that the cops couldn't even get a fingerprint off of her body. According to rumors, David killed Celeste and then cut her body up when he made that trip to Santa Barbara in April 2025. Then he allegedly brought her body back to the house he was renting and stuffed it in the freezer. Then for some reason, David allegedly took the body out and put it in his Tesla. Nobody knows why David would have put the body in the Tesla and just left it there, but there are a lot of details that don't make sense yet. And what makes the situation even crazier is that David wrote a track called One More Dance about keeping a body cold and said, "Dance with your eyes wide shut, 40 degrees round us, holding you closer than before. The only way I'm letting you go is if I can't see my hands." The case isn't looking good for David, but he's not the only one being investigated. According to the cops, whoever killed Celeste and moved her body didn't do it alone. David isn't officially a suspect yet, but the judges started a grand jury to decide if there's enough evidence to make an indictment. They've been bringing in witnesses and grilling them about the case, and one of the dudes they questioned was David's tour manager, Robert Morgenroth. It's not clear exactly what they questioned Morgenroth about, but somebody in the hallway of the courtroom said that a lawyer kept asking him why he didn't call the police. But the case gets weirder from there, because another witness connected to Morgenroth is allegedly about to get arrested. Morgenroth's lawyer is a woman named Evan Janess, and he's not the only person involved with the case that she's working for. Evan Janess is also representing an unknown female witness, but the witness wouldn't come to court, so the judge in the case said that the witness is going to get arrested. David might not officially be a suspect, but people keep digging up more dirt on him. It turned out that David had a second Instagram page, and what he posted on there makes him look even more guilty. According to some sources, the last photo of Celeste alive was taken around January 2025, and in the same month, David posted a photo of a beach on his other IG page. Then a few months later, David used the same photo to announce the deluxe version of his album, and he posted it on Celeste's birthday. The day after David posted the beach photo on a second IG page, he posted another pic in the woods, and after that day, there were no more photos of Celeste being alive. The main theory in the case is that Celeste was killed sometime in spring 2025, which is when David and someone else the police haven't named took the secret trip to Santa Barbara. And around the same time Celeste was killed, David posted another photo on a second IG that sparked a ton of rumors. According to some people, David was hooking up with his homie Neo. It's all just rumors right now, but some sources claim that David and Neo were secretly dating, and Neo might have been the one who allegedly helped David with Celeste's body. David posted a pic of Neo grabbing his ass right around the same time that Celeste allegedly died, but right now there's no hard evidence to prove the story. What we do know for sure though is that David and Celeste had matching tattoos even though she was only 14 when she disappeared, and David admitted on Discord that he was addicted to watching gore videos. People on the outside had no idea how weird David really was, but now everyone's finding out how deep the story goes. Tap in for updates, because there's no telling what's going to happen next in the case.